What I'm going to do in this video is break down the entire scoliosis mobility to stability formula and show you what you need to know in order to start to control your curve. I'm literally going to share my entire formula with you. It's the combination of 12 years of hard work and continued training to figure this stuff out. So stop whatever it is that you're doing now, grab a pen and paper and take some notes because this is going to be highly valuable for you. This video is number 4 of a 6-part video series. In the first video, I break down why the traditional treatment of scoliosis, namely the wait and see approach, isn't benefiting anyone and how to take control of your spine with exercises will be the next logical step when you know what type of scoliosis you have. Now in the second video, I showed you how to identify that scoliosis because if you don't know exactly what type of curve you have, you can't do the specific exercises for your curve. And this is part of the reason why many things like yoga and pilates, although great for you in general, aren't going to be as effective for your scoliosis. Now in the third video, I introduced a very important exercise called the setting the foundation, which helps you balance your pelvis before trying to correct your spine. So if you've missed any of those videos, make sure you jump back and watch them as they really lay the foundation for this video. Now, with that being said, let's find out how I put together the mobility to stability formula that I use within my online scoliosis correction protocol exercise course. I just want to make sure that I'm clear when I use these names. So let me break it down for you. The online program is called the Scoliosis Correction Protocol course. Now imagine you're here and you want to be here in the future. In this case, the future would be knowing exactly what exercises to do for your scoliosis. Well, the journey most people take looks like this. They bounce around from practitioner to practitioner, from video to video, and maybe they get there in the end, but some never make it at all. Now, with the Scoliosis Correction Protocol exercise course, I'm going to take you straight from where you are now to where you want to be in the future. Now, the vehicle or the driving force within the program is the mobility to stability formula. That is the method that I use to take you from where you are now to where you want to be. Now, the first part of that is to figure out what type of curve you have. And I actually showed you how to do that in video 2 of the series. So again, if you haven't watched that, please do so at the end and you'll find out how to do the Adams test. Now, the next thing we need to know is to understand some physical therapy terms. Now, the first one is that scoliosis is a 3-dimensional problem. So how do medical practitioners describe that? Well, if you bend forward, we say your spine is flexed or in flexion. If you bend backwards, we would say your spine is extended or in extension. And you can see that in the video here, or in the picture here. Now, if you lean to the side, we would say you're laterally flexed to whichever side you're going towards, or side bent to that side. So in the lighter color here, you're laterally flexed to the left or side bent left. Now, I prefer the word side bent because it somehow brings in the image of something being bent to the side. Now, lastly, we have rotation, and that's just simply twisting to the right or to the left. Now, here's the interesting thing. Due to the structure of the spine, it will always do the last 2 movements at the same time. It couples rotation and side bending, which means that if the spine is bent to the left, it will also rotate to the right. And this is why people with a right-sided scoliosis, like this one on the X-ray on the left, meaning that the apex is on the right, will also have a rib hump on the right-hand side. So, what sort of exercises do I suggest? Well, I break down the protocol into 3 parts. I've got mobility, stability, and endurance. Now, mobility is essentially getting more motion in the joints. You need to create mobility in all 3 planes to allow the curve to experience a new normal. For example, let's assume you're a teenager and your back is pretty flexible, but you might be a little bit stiff in that curve, just in that one area. So we would need to work this tight area in order to allow the next step, stability or strength, to have more effect. Or maybe you're an adult and your spine is generally stiffer. Well, in order for the muscles to become stronger and support the spine, the spine needs to be able to move. So imagine this. You want to make your biceps stronger, but the elbow joint doesn't move. So it's not going to be as effective as if I actually move my elbow joint like this, if I just hold it still. So that's why we need motion into the spine in order to increase strength of the muscles. So you can see mobility and stability go hand in hand. However, scoliosis is a 24-hour-a-day problem because gravity is a 24-hour-a-day force. This is why you need endurance. Now, there's a number of ways you can get this. You can increase the reps of any exercise, the repetitions. That is the number of times you do the exercises. And most physical therapeutic approaches do this. So on the courses like that, you can end up doing 4 hours of exercise a day. Now, those kind of courses do get results, but they're usually short-lived because when a person returns to their home, they can't keep up that kind of effort. And what happens is they end up slightly regressing. The mobility to stability formula is a little different. In order to get the change, we use a combination of increasing the repetitions, then increasing the weights, and then adding the specific endurance exercises. So I hope you understand now that any exercise you use must address the curve in all 3 dimensions. And in addition to that, the exercises, they will have to be broken out into 3 different phases in order to help you become more mobile, stronger, and finally have more endurance. Now, some people actually have areas of their body outside the spine that they need to address at the same time as correcting their scoliosis. You saw the importance of this with the setting the foundation exercise, but areas further down the chain such as the knees and the feet and also up the chain in the eyes and the ears and the teeth can also affect your spine. For example, a team out of Italy noticed that they could create a scoliosis in rats simply by leaving a filling slightly proud in the rat's mouth. That means it stuck out a little bit, they didn't file it down properly. Now, this is because the tooth enamel is actually the hardest substance in the body. It's harder than the bone, it's harder than the muscles, and harder than the ligaments. And so all the bones and ligaments and muscles have to adapt around the tooth. So if your tooth alignment is off, this can actually affect your spine. And once the researchers removed the filling, the spine returned to normal. Now, the same thing goes for things like leg length or hip imbalances and even bunions. They can all affect your spine. Now, by the way I'm structuring the new program is I want to allow people to enroll in the scoliosis exercises just by themselves. But if they want to go deeper into the process, they can actually buy the complete program, which includes 22 specific exercises and specific tests that look at areas of your body that could be affecting your scoliosis. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you click on the link under this video or somewhere on the screen and put your name on the early bird waitlist. Once you're on the early bird waitlist, you'll get access to the protocol registration link the night before the protocol launches to the public. And this means that you'll have a greater chance of being accepted. So make sure you place your name on the early bird waitlist. Just click on the link, fill out the form, enter your name and your email, and your spot will be reserved and you will get early access to the program. However, I want to tell you that doing the scoliosis exercise protocol course is not for everyone. It's not for people who are born with scoliosis. Another word for that is congenital scoliosis. And it's not for people who've had surgery, especially those who have Harrington rods. You see, in order to increase the mobility of the spine needs to be able to move. And rods, fixations, or being born with it means that a small part or even a large part of your spine doesn't work or doesn't move. So the exercises for those people have to be different. They would have to be adapted. The goal would be different as well. And it wouldn't be about slowing down, stopping, or even reducing a curve. Now, having said that, this course is for people who have an S-shaped scoliosis or a C-shaped scoliosis. It came on as a teenager or it developed later in life, it doesn't matter. It's for people who are motivated to spend at least 30 minutes a day working on themselves. Now, in the next video, I'm going to share with you an interview with one of my clients and her experience with the program. I'll share with you how one of my teenage clients managed to reduce their curve by 15 degrees in just 3 months, and how one of my older clients in her 70s managed to avoid pelvic surgery because of the plan and following the plan. Now, if it's possible for them, it's also possible for you. So I'll see you in the next video.